Hi everybody, I'm Laurence White. I'm Vice President of Sales here at GhostDraft. I am responsible for new business sales, new customer acquisition for the GhostDraft 360 platform into the property and casualty industry in North America. I am in Dallas, Texas, have lived here for a little over 20 years, originally from the United Kingdom. Have been in the software business for as long as I can remember. Prior to moving to the United States, have been working exclusively in the insurance industry as selling insurance technology for about the last 15 years. So I think it might have been as a result of a stereotypical midlife crisis, but I recently purchased a motorcycle, Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, and I can't get enough of riding my motorcycle. In fact, just got back from a weekend. I live in Dallas, Texas, I might have mentioned earlier. Spent a weekend in a place called Broken Bow in Oklahoma, beautiful state park, and a lake and lots of hiking. But the highlight of the weekend for me was the almost 200-mile trip up there and 200 miles back on the motorcycle. First time I'd driven that amount of time on the bike, and I got to tell you, apart from being in 100-degree heat pretty much the entire journey, it was boy, I had the time of my life. It was great. You know, there are a few best pieces of advice that I've been given. Most of them came from my dad, and kind of around the time that I started having to, leave the home and go and earn a living versus being kept by my parents. And they were really simple, from him at least. And the two things that really stick out, he always told me to remember that you don't necessarily have to love what you do, you just have to not hate it. And that once you get into the workplace, you got to remember that they pay you to do these things. And if you can remember those real simple things that, sometimes you're not really necessarily going to enjoy every aspect of what you're doing for a living. Remember that they're paying you for it, and remember to kind of have a good attitude about it, and always keep a good balance between what's going on in your work life and your personal life. That's really stuck with me forever. Then I got my first great manager, and so another piece of advice that my dad gave me when I was much younger was always make sure that you like the person you work for, and if you don't, go find somebody else to work for. And so my first great manager was very early in my career, somebody that taught me the art of diplomacy in the workplace. And I just, these things have just really stuck with me. Not taking myself too seriously, not taking my job too seriously, obviously serious enough to get it done properly. And so that's really it. I think if I sum it all up, it's really just creating that work-life balance, I think, is really the translation I took from those pieces of advice. Man, it's travel related. I think that, so my bucket list item is to step foot on, I guess I could say all 7 continents, but I'll take all 5, excluding the really cold ones. But I really, I haven't, I spent a little time in the North African continent, just kind of barely. But I haven't been to Australia, I haven't been to Asia. So I think completing that and stepping foot and spending time on all of the non-icy continents is my bucket list.